All right, I want to talk about this Orion watch, and I'm super excited about this one. I was a little bit hesitant on it because I've had some bad experiences with some micro brands in the past, but I'm pleasantly surprised with this one. I want to show you some information on it first. So this is Watches by Nick. This is his design and creation, and this is probably the main reason I'm excited about this watch, because this gives me hope that there's people out there with a passion enough to put their time and money and labor and sweat into designing and executing these watches. And I think Nick has done a wonderful job. So there's his information, and let's talk about the watch real quick, and I'm going to try to keep this short. So this particular dial is the field dial. He has another dial for it, and then he has a bunch of different case options that he's played with in the past. And this is still early on, I think, for Nick, and he's doing like pre-orders to get the the money built up so that he can afford to go through this, because I'm sure it's very costly and it's a risk. And I think that's what I'm excited about, is to see someone put forth the effort and take the risk. I mean, I just admire people that do that. So, and then to execute it with such beauty in this one, and ruggedness. I mean, the crown and the crown guard, that's probably my favorite aspect of this case. The polishing and everything looks great. I'm not a big fan of polished watches. I would be fine if this whole thing was satin. I mean, there's a bunch of things on this that I would like to see differently to my taste, but I didn't build a watch. Nick did. So with Nick's design aspects of this, I think he did a great job, and I'm super happy with the product he's put out here. So you have the indices around the outside there, and they have multiple chamfers on them, so they hit the light and they glimmer. And then you have the Arabic numbers all the way around, and then you have the 24 in the center. It has all the information you need, and really nothing more. So it's aesthetically, I think you pulled off something really good and clean. The only thing it's missing on here is the number 3 to give way to the date, which I can't stand watches without the date. So I think he executed the dial great on this one. And then the case, albeit a little thicker than I think some people like, when I wear this, I don't feel the thickness. And with this leather on there, which the fitment of the leather to the case with where the lug holes are and everything, I don't know who did that or pulled that off, but the fitment on it is really good. So I don't know if that was something Nick had to design, or if he said make the leather fit the case, or however that worked, but whoever did it did a good job. And I would like to see some sort of bracelet option for this, although this fits really good, and you can see it's like naturally contoured. I think that's part of the way or the reason that it fits so good. And then even though it's only, I think it's supposed to be like a 38 millimeter watch. Yeah, so it's like a 38. Because of the long lug to lug, which is like a 49, it works great on my 7 1/4. And yeah, I mean, it's thick, compared to, especially like, so I just received this watch in not too long ago, and when you look at the Hamilton field, it's only 11.4. So, but this, I guarantee you, this is going to be way more water resistant, because the Hamilton's only like 50 meter. This is going to be, I think he has it rated at 100 meter, but it's going to be like 300 meter easily. So water resistance plays into that, which maybe you don't need. I know I don't need. I would have been happy with a 50 or 100 meter and went with a thinner case, but I'm not going to knock the case on this, because the case on this is what makes this watch so unique and so powerful. The crown And the crown guards, I still can't get over that. Like, I want this, like in a different package, and I'm so looking forward to his future creations. I hope that he can. I don't know if you can hear that. So the wind on it is really good. It's got a Seiko movement in it. The date change is smooth. Everything, it's standard, reliable Seiko stuff. And then the hour and minute hand move really smooth and fast. So everything like that is pretty much standard stuff. The threads on it are perfect. Like, you don't have to, like, they just line up every time. I've played with this crown a few times. So I hopefully this becomes like a signature and Nick keeps making more watches. This crown, I think, needs to become his signature somehow, or different, because I know if you go with a thinner case, you can't have that massive of a crown, but if he keeps that similar style, I think that would be his calling card. I think that would just be amazing, and it would work great. So let me throw it on wrist. I'll give you a quick look at it on my 7 1/4. And I wear a little loose, so it doesn't really move that much because of the contour of everything. So you can see with that long lug to lug, it's still it fits perfect, and it just melts onto the wrist. The crown is large and it has the knurling on it, but it's a soft knurl, so it doesn't bite in and dig. And I kind of can't help but compare it to like the Tudor Black Bay I had, where the crown on the Black Bay was like, the coin edge on it was like too much. I actually felt it on my wrist, and I have not felt this when I wore this. What was it, yesterday? I think yesterday, all day at work. And of course, I was super careful not to damage it, even though I'm not the first one to get it. So there's already a couple nicks on this Nick, and I didn't do them. Somebody else did them. So, but it's nice that I have this Hamilton now to like compare it to. So like if you look at them, I think it's a good comparison. I think they're similar price range. I'm sure the Orion's more money, but I think you're getting a more robust watch, and you're getting something that is way more passion into it. Hamilton is a great company, and they have a lot of history, but I don't know, there's just when I experience a micro brand watch like this, and I've talked to Nick through the Facebook group, there's more to the watch. It's deeper. There's meaning towards the watch. It becomes more personal. So I think that's the draw that I was hoping for when I explored a couple of micro brands before, and I was unfortunately let down. And I just, there's going to be good things coming out of the Orion line with watches by Nick. So just wanted to give you guys a quick thought and look at this watch. The case back is sterile on this one, but this is a prototype, so when he goes into full production, there will be some sort of design or etching or writing or something on there, I'm sure. And he posts up pictures all the time of him playing, and you can look at the pictures, and when he's holding it, his fingers are all dirty, and you can tell he gets so into it. I can just picture Nick spending hours playing with the metal and the design and just all the hands-on and the creation of it. That's just inspiring to me, and that makes me want to really watch what he does. And sooner or later, I'm confident I'm going to end up with one of his watches. So definitely look into these, and hopefully we can support the micro brands like Watches by Nick, and they can continue on to do some very cool and unique creations. Let me know what you think in the comments.